school year, we're not shrinking, we're not settling, and we are definitely not dimming our light to make other people feel comfortable. Whether you are starting university, going back to school, or just entering a new season of your life, this is your reminder to walk in the most confident, magnetic, grounded version of yourself. I said it before, but listen, babes, class is in session. Get your notebook out. We're taking notes. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to fully embody her. Not in a fake it till you make it way, but in a way that you feel like go back into the school year, being 100% yourself, and feeling confident and feeling happier and confident this school year. If you don't know me, guys, my name is Neeti. I talk about everything dating, self-development, confidence, glow up. I'm just like your older sister here, basically. I post twice a week on this channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, but let's get into this video. In this video, there are going to be 4 main chapters. Chapter 1 is going to be figuring out what the most confident version of you actually looks like. Chapter 2 is why you have been playing so small and how you're actually going to stop this. Chapter 3 is your confidence checklist. And chapter number 4 is actually protecting yourself and protecting your confidence and your energy from other people. Let's talk about like my school experience. When I look back on my high school experience, I don't think that high school was my best time of my life at all. I was never like the weird kid, but I also like didn't have that many friends. I used to see people who had like really big group of friends in high school, and I just like was never part of a big group of friends. Like I had like my 1-2 friends, but they were always part of like a bigger group of friends. So I remember in high school just like not always feeling like the most confident version of me, not always feeling like I was the first person chosen to hang out with, not being invited to the birthday parties, everyone's birthday parties, and I definitely wasn't like the popular kid. When I went to university, I did live on campus, which I think made a really big difference for me, but I went to the University of Toronto, and I think that this is where I really made my deeper friendships and really started to understand how to make friends. So I actually think that this video is going to be great for you guys entering university because it's going to give you a lot of things to think about before you actually go and make the friendships, and even give you tips on like how to make good friendships in university. Some of my best friends are from university, but I also know a lot of people whose best friends are from high school and who had the time of their life in high school and like, you know, felt really confident in high school. For me, it kind of came a little bit later, and now I feel confident. I emulate confidence, you know, I own who I am. I think if you're struggling with friendships, or you're just struggling with not feeling confident, not feeling chosen, and not feeling like you can be yourself, if you're always like on edge, or you get a lot of anxiety, maybe social anxiety with like going back to school and like friendships and stuff like that, and I think this video is really going to give you some good tips and put things in a perspective. Chapter number 1, what the most confident version of you looks like. Before you become that girl that you wish you were, the confident one, the one who owns what she did, the one who doesn't really care what people say, the one who wears what she wants to do, the one who is just her. Like we all know that there's somebody like the Carrie Bradshaws, like, you know, sometimes I even think of Tam Core. That girl emulates, like she is her. She wears what she wants to wear. She says what she wants to say. She doesn't care what people think. If you have somebody in your mind who you look up to, maybe even in your school or university, somebody you know, but even maybe a celebrity, like a character from a show, like Blair from Gossip Girl, Serena from Gossip Girl. Serena's a great one actually, and Blair. Then you need to look at those people and also think of yourself. So before you become her, you need to see her visually in your head and imagine her. She does not wait for permission to take up space. Walks with intention. She's exactly where she's meant to be. Her style is self-expression. It's not people-pleasing or fitting in. She speaks clearly and with confidence. She's not afraid to be heard. She does not beg to be included. Her energy attracts the right people. These are all things you can think about when you think of your like most confident version, or somebody that you look at who is confident. How do they walk? How do they carry themselves? Are they timid? How do they speak? Are their shoulders back? What do they wear? Do they care what somebody says about them? You need to know in your head what the person that you were channeling and the person that you aim to be like is like. What do they do and what do they not do? Because if you don't know this, then you don't even know what to do. If you were already the most confident version of yourself at school, what would you change tomorrow? Literally, if you said tomorrow you need to walk in and act like this person, Carrie Bradshaw, Tam Core, whatever, Blair, Serena, or just other girl that I know, what would you change about yourself tomorrow? Ask yourself this question. What is like a difference that comes to your head really quick, and the difference between the way that they act and the way that you are acting or feeling? And note that and change that. Chapter number 2 is why you've been playing so small and how you're going to stop. And I do think it's really important to actually like think about why you do things and why you think different ways before, not even just before actually. I think it's important to understand why you are the way you are. And that doesn't mean that you're bad or anything, but I think when it comes to wanting to grow, wanting to become more confident, wanting to work on yourself, you just have to at least have an understanding of why you do certain things. A lot of us have been taught to make ourselves smaller to fit in and to be liked. This could come from childhood with your parents. This could come from social situations in school, as a kid, family. We are taught, especially in South Asian culture, if you're South Asian or you're Indian like me, we have a lot of like fitting in, be nice to everybody, people please. If you've had a situation in your childhood, maybe Maybe you were ostracized in a school. Maybe you said something. Maybe you looked different. Maybe you were the ugly kid. Maybe you were the fat kid. Maybe you weren't as funny as everybody else. And these social situations back in your early age might have led you to become more of a people pleaser, or become more quiet, or just become a person who just like wants to be liked and wants to be fit in instead of being who they are. Maybe you expressed your voice one time and you said a joke in front of a class and nobody laughed. And from that experience, you learned, like, I am not going to be sharing my internal thoughts and my jokes. Maybe it was your family. I think for me, when I was younger, it was my family. I always just had to be like really nice, and they always just wanted me to fit in. Sharing my opinion was just not really something that was like looked up upon. I think in Indian culture, it's just valued. Just be quiet and just be nice. People pleasing and perfectionism come from a fear of judgment and rejection. So I think it's important to understand maybe why you are not being the full version of yourself and why you're not being the most confident version of yourself sometimes. And I think you need to understand that it's coming from a fear of rejection, a fear of being judged. A lot of us have that deep down. I had that for so long. To some degree, everybody still has it. I have it a little bit, but it's about reducing that fear. As I said earlier, in your childhood somewhere, in your early experiences, you probably felt rejected or you felt judged, and now you really don't like that feeling. So your body and your personality adapted to be like, I never want to feel rejected and I never want to feel judged again. So let's change ourselves. Let's be quieter. Let's not dress how we want. Let's not say the things that we want to. Let's not be as loud as we want to. As I said, for example, you saying something in class and nobody laughing, you felt rejection. Now you're like, from now on, I'm not going to share my opinion in class. Example, right? But what I want to tell you is that you were never too much. You were never not funny. You were never weird. You were just around people who were not secure enough to see your light. You were just around the wrong people. And I think that sometimes you have to think about like having like a couple situations in your childhood where maybe you felt judged and maybe you felt people pleased. That's not completely abnormal. You know what I mean? Like, but the thing is, like, we take that when we're kids and we try to protect ourselves and we change our whole personality and we completely stop expressing ourselves in certain ways. It's not you who's the problem. You're not weird. It's the people who were around you. And so don't take that and like never express yourself. Shrinking your personality, your looks, your style, whatever it is, how smart you are, it does not make you safe. It just makes you invisible. It literally just makes you blend in. You're losing a lot of potential there. You're losing a lot of self-expression. You're obviously losing out on confidence because you were just trying to be invisible. Your body and your brain thinks that, oh, I'm safe if no one like notices me, or I'm safe if I don't say these things, or I don't express myself, or I don't act like the person I think I am, the most confident. No, baby, you're not safe. You're just being invisible. Confidence also doesn't mean that you never feel insecure. I want to say that. I would define myself as now at 25 a confident person, but that doesn't mean I never feel insecure. It means that you show up anyways as yourself, even when you don't feel the most confident or even when you feel insecure. So I'm not going to tell you that every single day for the rest of your life you're going to feel super confident and you're never going to feel insecure. You're going to be in different situations. You're going to be in different schools. You're going to be around different people. You're going to be wearing different things. I could feel really confident among one group of friends, but I could also feel super insecure around another group of friends. Obviously, like, we want to aim to be confident everywhere, but you cannot think that you will always be 100% confident. What I need you to know, though, is just because I don't feel the most confident doesn't mean I'm gonna not show up. I'm still gonna be me even if I'm not feeling the most confident. You have to accept that you are not perfect, but you have important things to contribute to society. You have knowledge. You're gorgeous. You have a great sense of style. You have facts that you want to share. You're funny. You're friendly. You have things to contribute. You're you. And this takes me to chapter number 3, which is the confidence checklist. These are some things that I think I want you to keep in mind day to day in order to help you feel more confident. And I also want you to kind of build your presence. I don't want you to shrink yourself anymore. And so I want you to like think of these things and emulate them. Number 1 is clothes. Okay, I know that clothes is a big freaking deal in school, especially in high school, but in university too. It's all about the brands. It's all about who is wearing what. It's all about who looks good, who doesn't look good. Back in the day when I was in high school, wearing Lululemon in elementary school was like the biggest thing. Either way, I want you to start wearing something that makes you feel sexy, makes you feel powerful, makes you feel comfortable, even if it's different than what other people are wearing. You know, there was a part of me that always like had like this great grand fashion sense. Like I love dresses and I love heels, and I would end up wearing Lululemon leggings and yoga pants, or sorry, those are yoga pants, and hoodies, because that's just like what everyone else is wearing. And to some degree I get it. Like, maybe you don't want to dress like that every day, but if you do sometimes, freaking do it. In high school, I remember I used to carry a Michael Kors purse and wear like little heels, and I was like in the 11th grade, and there were some girls who used to do it, but most of the people would be in their running shoes. But like I am such a fashionista that I was like, you know what, if I am gonna wear a full face of makeup, not because I'm insecure, but because I love doing my makeup. If your idea of looking good and feeling good is wearing baggy clothes, then do that. Then don't wear like tight ass clothes and like freaking push-up bras just because everyone else is doing it. You know what I mean? Posture. I have this thing that I actually say literally to my friends. They will all tell you. I do this thing where I say shoulders back, chi-chis up whenever we walk into somewhere. Whenever we walk into a club and we don't know anybody, but we have to act like we belong here, even though we don't, because we don't want to wait in that long line. Chi-chis up. You walk in like you're the Posture is really important for how you carry yourself, and I think that it's really overlooked. You need chin up, shoulders back, eye contact when you speak to people. Your body communicates before you even speak. If you have somebody like sitting over like this, they could be saying the same thing. People are not going to respect that person as much. They look timid. They don't look like they're comfortable in their skin and they own what they say. When you speak to somebody, no matter who they are, you make eye contact. You don't look down. You have your shoulders back. You sit up when someone talks to you. Doesn't matter who they are. You are like, why are you going to physically shrink yourself? You are literally doing what you want to do psychologically of shrink yourself and be invisible. You're physically doing. So we're going to start setting up. Self-talk. I want you to check your internal dialogue. Very important. Say what you want to believe, not what you fear. So instead of going to school saying, oh my God, nobody likes me. That's your fear. What do you want to believe? I want to believe that I'm actually a really cool person and lots of people want to be my friend. Start saying that every time you have like those negative thoughts. No guys think I'm pretty in university. That's a fear of rejection. It's a fear of people not choosing you. No, I'm actually really beautiful and I know that the people that are meant for me will see my beauty. You need to check your self-talk. There's no I'm weird, I'm stupid, everyone's smarter than me. No, I'm actually really smart. I just have, maybe I'm not smart in math, maybe I'm smart in a different subject. Energy hygiene. This is something that I think when you're younger, and I'm assuming some of you guys are younger because I'm talking about going back to school and college. Energy hygiene is so important. Your energy. I believe in energy and I believe that people around you can affect your energy. Clean up your digital space. Clean up your Instagram, clean up your TikTok. Are you following people that are giving you anxiety and making you feel left out? Recently, I'm literally 25, but I had a group of friends, distant friends, who didn't kind of invite me to something, or I kind of chose not to go to it. It's like a messy story. And I actually decided like I can't remove them to be like great drama, but I'm gonna mute them all. So when they're going out on this weekend or this trip without me, I'm not gonna sit here and constantly feel shitty about myself every time I open my phone and be reminded of it from like 10 different people's stories. Muted them all. What happened that weekend? I didn't really see much. I saw 1 or 2 snaps from other people, but I didn't really see much about what they were doing and I didn't really care and it wasn't affecting my mental health. Clean it up. People who drain you, people who don't like you, people who are rude to you, they should not be freaking taking any of your attention online. Be mindful of what content you're consuming. I think that this is just important in life in general. I only follow people who I'm inspired by. I only follow people who preach positivity. I follow a lot of other influencers who give me a lot of like affirmations on TikTok and like you're beautiful and women empowerment and confidence and how to be securely attached and how to know your worth. Wizard Liz, like Tam Core, those kind of people. So that every time I open my phone, I'm being fed positive messages, right? Rituals. These are also really important. You should have get ready playlists. If there's like feel good music for right now, for me it's Tate McRae. I love Tate McRae and she makes me feel like such a bad bee. She literally makes me feel Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, some song, Feeling Myself is a great song. Have playlists that make you feel confident, you're bad, like you have an opinion. The ones that you listen to in your room when no one's watching and you think you're on a stage, get ready playlist before you go to class. Have a signature scent, like, you know, like this is my favorite scent and this is what I wear every day. Like, this person always smells like this and they smell really good. Daily affirmations in the morning. Before you go to school, be like, I am confident, I'm great, I have great friends, people are drawn to me, I'm smart, I succeed in every class I take. Journal also, like, you know, this is just, I have so many videos that I talk about journaling. Journaling is a lifesaver, but you need to journal every night. If something made you feel a certain way at school today, I actually think journal about it and ask yourself why, because the more you do this, the more you're going to understand yourself, then the more clarity on how to work on it. These also just create grounding. Doing these practices, like the playlist and the journaling and the affirmations, they make you feel more connected to yourself. The more connected to yourself you feel, the more confident you're going to feel in yourself. This takes me to chapter number 4, which is protecting your confidence from other people. Confidence is not just built, it is protected. I think that there in school and university, when I think back, there's a lot of comparison. Who is popular, who's getting better grades, who has the most expensive clothes, who's getting attention from boys, who's skinny, who's the prettiest, who got into this university, who got into this class, who has the highest grades. It's really hard. I don't think that I've had that much comparison ever since. Like, this doesn't exist other than in a school environment, in my opinion. But when it comes to friends, I really want you to be careful about people around you who could be bringing your confidence confidence down instead of building it up. And I know that you're trying to build it up. So have boundaries. I think when it comes to people in your school, baby friendship, things like that, you don't need to explain your growth. If you started changing how you look, if you started changing how you act, if you started changing your posture, if you started changing the things you say and the things you put up with, you don't need to explain it to people. You don't need to explain like, now I'm just becoming confident in myself. No, just be aware that like if they're meant to be in your life, they will still be in your life. You're just becoming more you. Not everyone needs access to you. Envy and subtle shade is such a big one. There's a lot of like shady ass comments I feel like that can happen in university, friends. Not everybody even wants to be your friend. It's like sometimes proximity. If you don't know what proximity theory is, it's this theory that a lot of times you're only actually friends with people because you see them every day or you see them all the time or you're in the same spaces. They're not actually true friends. And if you guys are not seeing each other that often, you won't actually be friends. So once again, like, you know, a lot of these people you don't know might not even be your good friends and have great intentions. So they will act like your glow up and you being confident and you dressing a certain way and you showing up to school and you being smarter and you not tolerating shit is a threat to them. That's because they're insecure. It's not a threat to them. It's a mirror to them and showing them their own insecurities because they can't be like you. Do not let their subtle shade and people saying that you've changed and you've become like this, and you become meaner and this, as long as you're not actually being like that, as bad. It's not bad. You're just growing. Fake friends. One thing I really wish I learned when I was younger and I really didn't learn it until now, until this age, is that you don't need a big group of friends, girl. You don't need a big circle. You just need a few people who see you for who you are, accept you for who you are, and they want to see you win. They want to build you up. They want to build your confidence up. They don't want to tear you down and compare. I hosted a girls IRL event. If you don't know, I host girls IRL events. So in-person girl meetups that I do a panel. I talk about confidence. We have like a theme, a girls night. You meet other like-minded girls. I actually just had one this past weekend. It was sold out. But there was a girl who shared a story in front of everybody about how she had like another content creator friend, and like every time like she would post a video, that content creator friend would feel like, why are you copying me, or why are you doing this? And she's like, just kind of like ruined our friendship. And I was like, that's an insecure friend, because if you're not actually copying her, just because she's wearing curly hair in the video and you're wearing curly hair, like, that's not copying. You know how many people have curly hair? And I said to her, like, that's not a real friend, bro. A real friend is secure in themselves. If they're making content, they have their own voice, they have their own look, they have their own editing style. You can't copy them. We don't need insecure friends. Backhanded compliments, oh my god. Block it, but don't carry it. You've changed. Like when people say, oh my god, you've changed, or like you're this, or like, you know, it's often what that means is like, you're no longer shrinking from me. You're no longer lower than me how I wanted you to be. Do not let those backhanded compliments get to you. Your confidence is a reflection of your relationship with you. It's not their reaction to you. You can be confident because you're confident in yourself. It's your relationship with you. Your confidence is not dependent on how other people react to you or see you, or if they build you up or if they judge you or not. No, you're confident because you're confident. As soon as you start making your confidence reliant on how other people think of you and what they say about you, and if they accept you or not, you're cooked. That's your confidence is always going to be up and down, because there's people are going to be threatened by you. You can't do that. Your confidence is between you and you only. I feel like this was really helpful, but I just want to give you a couple reminders. Confidence is not something that you wait to feel. It's not, I hope one day I become confident. It's something that you choose to practice every single day. Confidence is built. I had to build confidence. I didn't come out of the womb like this. Every single day you have the chance to either be confident or to shrink. I have the choice today of how I want to show up. It's my life. I have free will. You can show up the version of you who already has that power, that dream version of you that I told you to imagine, that person you look up to. You literally have the power to do that now. So this school year, you are not waiting. You are walking in like you own the place. You are going to conquer everything. You are going to succeed, and you're going to have the best freaking year of your life. Comment below if this was helpful or what you are going to be doing this school year that is different. Also, like, comment what universities and colleges you guys are going to if you're in Canada, the States. Maybe you'll make some friends in the comments, like-minded girls. If you don't already follow me on TikTok and Instagram, I post shorter form confident day in the life, more lifestyle stuff. I also have one-on-one coaching where I coach usually South Asian girls about confidence, self-esteem, dating, anxiety, attachment. You can find that in the description. I also host girls IRL events. The next date is not announced yet, but stay tuned for that. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.